absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, people. This is crazy. Carlos Sainz and Perez come together in the final laps of this race to take each other out. This is wild. This is absolutely wild, chat. This is crazy. I cannot believe Checo, in a moment where he could have come into this event and captured, literally captured at least probably a podium. He might have been working on it, and this is wild. Oscar Piastri is, because this is not 2021, so we're not about to watch the FIA do some crazy stuff for Max Verstappen. It is literally over. Piastri is going to win this race. This is crazy. This is crazy. I cannot believe that these two drivers, it's absolutely exciting, but who's to blame for this? Who is to blame for this? Oh my goodness. And if you look, of course, Russell's going to shift up to podium. Lewis Hamilton damn near was going to be out of the top 10. Now we have to get these cars off track. This is crazy, yo. Oscar Piastri this is it. This is it. He's going to win. It's VSC. There's not even going to be a red flag. We're about to watch Piastri cruise across, win another race, because that's my dog, Pia. This is technically how the race should have ended in Abu Dhabi. This is how it should have ended in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton, 8-time world champion. Piastri winning this race in the correct format. Two cars collided. Keep in mind, in Abu Dhabi, it was just Latifi himself. We got two cars collided on the main straight, I believe. Oh, no, not the main straight, but the straight. And then we got VSC. Piastri's the winner. This is what should happen in Abu Dhabi. But now we're here, and I am absolutely floored. I am absolutely floored by what we have just seen. I got to see who's going to be to blame for that. That's absolutely crazy. Let me go ahead and get the timesheet up for y'all. I can't lie. That race was pretty good, though. That was a pretty good damn race. I don't know how people, racing happens. So the way George got on podium, it could have happened to anybody. It could have been anybody that happened to. You can't control cars that are going to inevitably come together and then expect to, discount. You can't just discount Russell's podium. You can't discount it. I got to give Lando Norris some major props, but listen, I'm about to give somebody major props. Major props for something. And I think it's only fair. If we look right here, we got to check this out. We got to bring this into play. All right, because we don't play any games. We're going to bring this into play. Let me bring this up. My gosh. Let's check this out. This is wild. Piastri first, Leclerc second, Russell third, and Norris fourth. That is what we have. That is what we have. And that is Lando Norris. Major props to Lando Norris for making up so much ground during this event. Brother made it up. I have to applaud Lando for that. He made up a lot of space. He made up a lot of positions. He stayed in there. And Lando even played the team game. I think we need to applaud Lando for playing the team game. Lando definitely in a situation where McLaren was going into, I'm trying to bring this image up. It is absolutely wild. Lando in a situation where they were talking about giving him the support. Team orders going in his way. And here it is. We find ourselves in an event where Lando is taking a back seat because he got caught out by the yellow flag. I'll keep it real. Initially, I thought Lando just laid an egg. I thought Lando choked under pressure as we were watching qualifying yesterday, but that was not the case. Lando actually got caught out by the yellow flag. And so, to no fault really of his own, he starts further back in the grid than he would want to. So, all of the talk about giving him the support still kind of in the air, but not something that we were definitely going to feel was going to be warranted. But today, it doesn't work out that way. We see McLaren literally call in team support for Oscar with Lando trying to keep Perez back. And it worked. It worked. Lando keeps Perez held up. Oscar's able to pit, and that's how it goes. So let me see what we got here. Stephen Meyer says, Sainz lost traction. Watch the vid. Hey, I ain't going to lie to you. It did look like that because Sainz was struggling coming out of that turn. And the rear tires probably slipped, the car hooks, and he runs into Perez. That was crazy. Ferrari upgrades seem to be working. A mechanic Mercedes, I would have to agree that it does seem like Ferrari's upgrades are working. They look pretty strong in that race. Pretty damn strong in that race, brother. I would have to agree on that. But how about the situation with Ferrari as it sits anyway? I mean, we do got to talk about this. We kind of got to talk about this. 083 says, good morning, Wolfpack fam. Love. Stephen Meyer says, yeah, man, Sainz steering wheel went right and the car went left. Loss of traction or some technical issue. I'm glad they are all well. Sainz was days. You know, that is the most important thing, is that both drivers get out of the car. Both drivers are indeed safe. They might be sore the next day, but at least we can say that they're safe. You know, they're going to walk home. They're going to go see their families. They'll be able to be with their loved ones, which is a very good situation for them. So we will say that, because it could have been worse. That could have been an even worse accident at pretty much high speed down the straight. It could have went bad, but fortunately both drivers will walk away. So now we can really talk about what the hell we just saw. And I'm going to bring this image up into the update photos so we can take a look at this carnage that was remaining from this collision, where it just seemed to be that it was going to be a battle for the last. And Carlos Sainz's car is hooked right there. And it just rails Perez into the wall along with himself into the wall. And I mean, that I'm going to tell you, overall, this to me is not the best day for Ferrari. Ferrari's upgrades working, but I just got to show y'all something. I got to show y'all something, because to me, this also is important. This also is important to me. Okay, because this is something that was going around, and I got to bring it up because it is a situation. It is a situation, and we just got to talk about it. And here it is. How many times are we going to say too close, but not enough? I said it yesterday. Charles Leclerc is definitely a pole king, whether it's the strip club or it's in the racing. But here it is again. Charles Leclerc, pole position, and has yet to convert straight for 4 years a pole position into a race win here at Baku. Oh, I mean, let's just keep it real. That's crazy. Pia, my dog, and I'm glad Pia won the race. But is this not at least something that what we were talking about? Charles Leclerc, it happens more often than not that he does not convert pole positions into race wins. Sainz is what happened, but look at this. It has been Perez, Max Perez, and now it is Piastri. So yes, a very good day for Ferrari, but that has got to be a question of concern. Gabriel Sanchez says Sainz plan L, then crashes. Maybe. Tori Tacklin says Pia drove that car. What a good race. Shout out to the GOAT for making it to the points. Man, Tori, I got to keep it real with you, bro. I got to keep it real with you. Without that incident, Lewis Hamilton is out of the top 10, bro. Without 2 cars going out, Lewis Hamilton's likely finishing this race 12th or 11th. And that's just a real thing. And I'm going to show you something else that I thought was kind of damning. All right, but I will first give, let me see if I can find it, the quote. Where is it? All right, I'm going to show you something right here. This right here, these 2 radio messages during this race were kind of like damn to me. Lewis Hamilton, everything you can do to get the surface temp down. Lewis is trying. Lewis struggled with this car majority of the race. He was struggling with the Mercedes, okay? And he was out of the points well until this incident happened. He was out of the points. I think Lewis Hamilton, before that incident, was like in 12th place. 12th or 11th place, I believe he was in. That's not good. That's not good. Russell was not even on podium until the incident happened. So Russell's not getting a lot of hoolah for me because Lewis Hamilton started in pit lane. So I'm going to give him a lot of credit from starting in pit lane, bringing the car up to where he did. But racing does happen. Accidents, incidents happen, and therefore people benefit from these incidents. So I'm not going to take anything away from Lewis at all for that. But I am going to say he wouldn't be in points had the incident not happened. Russell wouldn't be on podium had the incidents not happened. And where it seemed like these drivers kind of shifted and changed at some point in time, they don't walk away with a race win. Russell seemed to have a little bit of strength at some point in time. Hamilton seemed to FP2, I think it was FP3, a little strength. And then here it comes in the race, and both Mercedes are just struggling. This Cat Rock says the rookies are showing out. Yo, this Cat Rock's rookies absolutely showed out. Absolutely showed out. Mechanic Mercedes says it took GOAT long to pass the Haas. It did, and that's a problem. I mean, we this is not the first time we saw that, right? We remember, where was it? Was it the Red Bull Ring where the Haas was playing the team game? Hamilton struggled laps and laps and laps and laps to even get past a Haas. And that was a real thing. But here it is today. We're sitting and we get a climatic end to this race. Not a good credit going to Carlos Sainz. I think Carlos Sainz is going to be to blame for this incident. I do think he's going to be to blame for that. Regardless if they look at telemetry and find out it was some major failure that happened in steering, traction control, whatever the case is, it just looked like to me on first watch, because I came on shortly after this, that Carlos Sainz might be to blame. And then, of course, Stephen Myers adding some information in there about the slippage. That's Facts J. Tory Tackling, Super Chat, big shout out. That's Facts J. He wasn't happy with the car. Plus, he was stuck in the DRS train. He did what he could. True. He did what he could do. He did what he could do. And let's just, in perspective, he had a horrible start to this race. I wouldn't say that the days before the main event went extremely well. There were some high points, but at the end, a big plate to handle, and it maybe handled as well as he could. But we do have to sit here and give some attention to Lance Stroll. Where are you? Where is Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll sitting right here before you in Logan Sargent positions. That is where Lance Stroll is, in Logan Sargent positions. This is the guy that his dad has afforded an opportunity in Formula One, and he sits 19th while his teammate, due to an incident, moves up 2 spots, but still was in the top 10. This is not something to celebrate. This is almost something to me that at a certain point of time just becomes very aggravating. It is very aggravating to see a driver be given an opportunity season after season after season after season after season, and he doesn't do anything with it. Lance Stroll would not be in Formula One if it was not for his dad, and still coming into a race event after all the hoopla and gaining Adrian Newey, Lance Stroll finishes 19th. Yes, we all know about the situation. We saw the hole in Yuki's side pod. We did see that. But bro, you couldn't make up anything more than that. You just finished. Listen. I'm so out on Lance Stroll. It ain't funny. Akondu says that was on Charles. The car was there for him. And guess what? I'm not mad at that because we're gonna talk about that. Because yesterday, what was it? It was, yo, Jay, we're gonna give Charles his props now. Yeah, I'm gonna give Charles his props, but what do you say about this? What do you say about this? One of Charles's situations is tire preservation. Being able to drive on the line, the edge of performance, but find that balance where you can preserve your tires as much as possible in a very hostile situation and deliver us a race win from pole position. Pole position. You've had it not once, not twice, not only 3 times, but you've had it 4 damn times. Charles Leclerc has had pole position 4 damn times, and he's striked out every time. There's only 3 strikes in baseball. He's stricken out 4 times now from pole position. What do we do with that? I mean, how much more do we say he's still got it? He's got that potential. How much more do we give him credit for pole position but not converting a race win? This is all I'm saying. Young Lance Stroll getting his ass kicked by salty, grumpy old man. Mechanic, bro, for real. For real. I mean, for real. I mean, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at. I mean, what kind of crap is this? Lance Stroll got outperformed by all the rookies on the track. Lance Stroll got outperformed by all the rookies on the track. Literally. Literally. Come on. We cannot. Lawrence Stroll, this is an indictment, bro. This is getting very bad. This is a horrible situation. You are affording your son by far one of the best experiences that you can have in a career of your choosing. But at what point in time do we just stop the nepotism bullcrap and say you're not good enough to be a driver on any Formula One team, especially our team? We got Adrian Newey. We got new facilities. We got state-of-the-art simulator air chain. We have Alonso. We got Honda coming. We're going to be a work team. At what point in time does Lawrence say, I can't hold the team back just to keep giving you an opportunity to live out this dream? At what point do you say that? At what point does an organization say to themselves, Lawrence, you're a detriment to our company and our brand name? You are. As board, we got to stop this. He could be a driver. He just can't be in the 1 or 2 seat. Because Lance Stroll is not doing crap for the team. He's not doing a damn thing. He's a liability. Lance Stroll is legitimately a liability for Aston Martin. No cap. No cap. Enough on Lance Stroll. He's garbage. I'm saying it now. He's garbage. Kick Sauber F1. Stake. Welcome to barely the top 15. Barely. Another race goes where this team does not get 1 point to their name. Can't even come out of the race, get soft tires on, and get a fast lap just to get a point somewhere. If it's not in positional finishing, can you get a fast lap? I mean, because you're sitting in the back. There's nothing else for you to lose back there aside for cost cap dollars if you wreck the car trying to get the fastest lap. But you're literally sitting in the back with not 1 point to your team constructor name. Is there not enough in that car to mount up soft tires, go out on the hottest lap that you can do, and get a point for the fastest lap? Can you do that? Evidently not, because I don't ever see them try it. And if they are trying it, it's not It's not even looking like they are. Zhou's on mediums, Valtteri's on mediums. Evidently, they're not even trying to do that. Valtteri's on hard tires. So evidently, they're not even trying to do that. They're not even trying to go ahead and get the fastest lap. And I'm going to tell you this, I don't think they got it in the car to do it. Gabriel Sanchez says, insane party tonight at Williams. Bro, let me talk about that. Let me talk about that. How about the team of the day? Team of the day, Williams Racing. Yes, indeed. Oh, my gosh. Williams, I said it yesterday. If this team managed to get 2 cars in the points, this is going to be a rock star party. Rock star party. And I'm giving it to them. Just, yeah, rock star party all day at Williams. Toast up, drink up, pop champagne, eat caviar, go out, drive fast cars, buy some new watches, go do whatever you want to do. Williams Racing, to me, is the team of the damn day. Mechanic Mercedes says, why Merc start goat on mediums? Bro, that's, you could ask that question all day. Derwin Hill says, our good finish for Williams, taking advantage of straight line speed. Yo, Derwin, they didn't just have straight line speed here, brother. They didn't just have straight line speed. Williams had low. They had speed in the low areas of the track. Williams is building a complete car. Big shout out to Alex Albon, finishing 7th. Big shout out to Colapinto, Argentinian driver, finishing 8th, above the 10th, and collecting major points. This is what we would have wanted to see from Logan Sargent paired with Albon. This is something that we would have wanted to see, but we never got it. Never got it. Racer X210 says, bad result for Ferrari. Leclerc loses pole for 2nd, and Sainz DNF, what the F? I'm packing now and heading to Ferrari. Then I'm bringing them back to greatness. Man, I'm going to tell you something, bro. You are going to go to Ferrari. You're going to go to Ferrari. And what's going to happen is you're going to show up to the door. And Ferrari's going to tell you to turn around. Ferrari's going to tell you that they can't afford your per diem. Ferrari's going to tell you that they can't afford your stay. Ferrari's going to tell you that they can't afford the chair, desk, and paper that you'll utilize while being at Maranello. Because Ferrari can't even afford to bring Adrian Newey in the door. If you can't help Ferrari, you cannot help Ferrari. Ferrari can't even help themselves. They can't. They're not willing to do what needs to be done to help themselves. Do I need to remind you right now? Look at this. This is your king, Charles Leclerc. 21, 22, 23, 24, pole positions and doesn't convert a damn thing. What do you do with that? The car was there. I believe it's Charles, man. It's Charles. He's got to break through at some point in time. It's something here or here. But Charles has got to find out what is keeping him from being the best version of himself. Because I'm not lying to you. This is a bad look. Stephen Meyer says, if Lewis had started on hards, he may have gotten 1 or 2 more positions based on strategy, possibly. Maybe he would have. I can go with that. Maybe that would have happened. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that point. That's something that could have been possible. But I still just want to take a little bit more time and give Williams Racing a major shout out and a major applause. A major applause. I mean, 7th and 8th today. I created this graphic before we came on, so I had hope. I created this graphic before the race, so I absolutely had faith that Williams Racing would put 2 drivers in points. I said it yesterday, and I'd be damned if they didn't do it. I mean, if the incident would have happened, they would have had 9th and 10th, still in the points. 2 cars go out, they move up 2 spots. Still, Williams Racing would have been in points. We got to give them some props for that. Definitely got to give them some props for that, man. I mean, this was absolutely, I think this to me was a very good race. This was a very good race, man. I honestly am telling you, this was a very good race. I think what we see right here, if we look at this, how about this? How about Ollie Berman? How about Ollie Berman in points? Both rookies in points. Berman, Colapinto, we got a sophomore winning another race. How about that? We are indeed witnessing and watching right now the new era of Formula One blossoming before our very eyes. Colapinto, although he's only going to be here for the end of the season, because Carlos Sainz is going to come in, I think there's going to be some hope for Ollie Berman. I think what Ollie Berman is showing us, I think that there is some hope for this young gentleman. I think that what Colapinto is showing us, there might be some hope for this young gentleman. But let's also be very clear. This is a very small sample size. And we already know what happens with very small sample sizes that are glorified and just put up onto this pedestal. They often fall the hell off. These sample sizes often fall off to the wayside, fall off to the abyss. We saw Nick DeVries. Oh my gosh, he's going to come in, be the elder statesman. He's going to run the circuit. He's going to show Yuki up. What happens? He's out of there. Logan Sargent, most recent American driver on the grid, comes in, and we're thinking that he's going to be the next best thing since Andretti. What happens? He is fired because he sucked. I'm just keeping it real. He sucked. That's what happened. All right? Here comes Danny Rick back, not no rookie. He's a vet by all means. He sucks right now. Okay? Colapinto did have me concerned earlier in the events, especially at free practice. Ollie Berman had me concerned, especially at free practice. We had also, let's just keep it real, Kenny Antonelli had us concerned. I don't know what all three of these drivers, these rookies, are going to be. Colapinto, Ollie Berman, Kimi Antonelli. But I can say right now, Kimi Antonelli has been showed up, in my opinion. He has been showed up, in my opinion. Because these drivers went into a Formula One race, went into qualifying, and they did pretty well for rookies. Okay? Ollie Berman just gave Haas points. Kevin Magnussen has been struggling all damn season. He's looked ultimately horrible. He's on a race ban. And I told you all, if Ollie Berman comes into this event and he brings points home to Haas, he finishes in front of Hülkenberg. Kevin Magnussen has not even been able to do that on average this season, finishing in front of Hülkenberg. Ollie Berman comes in and does that. I told you all, this could be the last time Kevin Magnussen races in Formula One. If I'm Haas and this guy is already coming in next season, I got Ollie Berman slotted to come in next season anyway. He just came into this race. I'll give it. 2 cars went out, and that's how he got into points. Keep it real. But he finished in front of Hülkenberg, the elder statesman, the better performing driver at Haas all of this season. And in this race event, I'm not bringing Kevin Magnussen back. Kevin Magnussen will be slotted as a reserve driver. Good backup. In case this rookie loses his wits, makes some mistakes that rookies make, maybe touches up the cost cap a little more than we like. Bring K-Mag back in, not to say that he's enormously better, but he should be able to, calm down a little bit because you've been here. But I don't think I would bring Kevin Magnussen back. I'm just saying, I don't think I'm bringing him back. I just don't think I'm bringing him back. That's just how I feel. Hülkenberg, Ollie Berman would be my lineup for the rest of the season. That'd be my lineup for the rest of the season. I'm not bringing the guy back. I'm not even apologizing for that. I'm not even mad about that. I'm not even mad if they don't bring Kevin Magnussen back. I don't think you should bring him back. Keep his ass at reserve driver roles and let Ollie Berman cook. Let's see what he can do the rest of the season. Colapinto's going to get the same opportunity. Colapinto's in that car for the rest of the season because Logan Sargent got the boot, which he should have. Let Ollie Berman finish out the season and get the rest of this Formula One actual GP weekend, event weekend, free practice weekends, sprint weekends. Let him get this experience now going into next season, and maybe you help craft a better driver. Because I've been on record for saying this. I don't think Haas is necessarily the best team or place to groom a driver for being a better version of himself. Maybe they turn into that team. Maybe right now they're slightly trying to turn a leaf, but I'm going to tell you something. Haas, don't bring K-Mag back. Let Ollie Berman finish out the rest of the season like Colapinto is going to do at Williams. Okay? Can you do that? Can you please do that? Because I'm telling you right now, Williams just absolutely showed what happens when you have a serviceable driver come in and a nice hot rookie come into your team. You can achieve more than you had been the entire time you wasted time with Logan Sargent. Now, I will be fair. James Vowles gave Logan Sargent ample amount of time to get his stuff together, to get his shift together, okay? I said shift, not the other word, to get his shift together. Logan Sargent failed to do that. He failed to do that. He failed to come back in another season where it was proclaimed he was just going to do astronomically better because he was training and practicing and simming and all this other stuff. He didn't. He was trash still. Now you bring Colapinto in, which was better late than never, in your team of the day. If there was a team of the day award, well, it is here. Wolfpack, I'm giving it to him. Team of the day is Williams Racing. Finally making it happen. Now let's sit here and let's talk about Yuki Tsuki. Out of the race, hole in the side pod. Not a very good look, of course, but things do happen. And with that being the case, what does Danny Rick do for AlphaTauri, the Red Bull Visa Cash App? I know. All right. What does he do? Well, let's see what Rick does. Not a damn thing. Rick finishes 13th. No points. Brings no points home to Red Bull Visa Cash App. What? Is it not time for Lim Lawson? Perez, it's not Perez's fault today. Perez outperformed Max Verstappen all this weekend on average. Outperformed him. Perez was going to finish on podium. I believe Perez was going to finish on podium. All right? Unfortunate situation with Carlos. But I think Perez is going to keep his seat unless something crazy happens and they just decide to ditch him. But Danny Rick doesn't need to be there anymore. Bring Lim in to Red Bull Visa, let Yuki stay, and you got a better team right there. You got a better team right there. You might as well keep Perez because I'm not sure Max Verstappen is going to be able to deal with not being good because Max Verstappen, he's still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Max Verstappen's not good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Max is getting outperformed, at least this weekend, by Perez. Max has now off podium 10 races. What was that going to be? He's off podium probably 5 times out of 10 races? Because we got to change the graphic. We got to change the graphic, all right? We have to change the graphic. Where is that graphic? We got the graphic right here. When I update this graphic, Max Verstappen now coming in 5th place will put him off podium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times out of 10 races. Max Verstappen is going to be off podium 6 times out of 10 races. I mean, what do y'all think about that? 60% of the time, he's off podium now. Not able to adapt, maybe? And did you see the message that came across from Max Verstappen? Did you see the message? If you didn't see it, I'm going to show it to you. Here's the message right here. My brakes are not working. No, Max, your brakes are working. Indeed, they're working. It's called you driving without asymmetrical braking. It's called you driving with a legal car. Your brakes are working, just not the way it used to be when the car was illegal. And since that article 11.2.1 kicked in, we've seen, heard, and read more cry out for help Max Verstappen messages than we ever have. We've seen Max blame the car. We've seen Max try to snitch on drivers about they didn't leave me space when you don't leave enough space as it is. We've seen Max complain about maybe somebody drove him off track when you've been the king of driving people off track. We've seen Max Verstappen complain, can I get this call? And GP tell Max, shut the hell up and drive. That you didn't have the apex anyway. Max Verstappen has been a crybaby. I told you all he was a big front runner. DJ Big Blue Navy, hoorah, says, I believe in Williams' Direction 25 lineup. I do too. It's starting to yield some result. We need to see a little bit more, but I'm on board with that. And how about Lewis Hamilton? He's been trying. He's been fighting the car. Lewis has said that, hey, I'm not going to change my driving style. I'm going to keep driving the way I have because it has served me well. Maybe not right now because the way this car is built, but if I change the way I drive, and Kenny B and I have spoke to this while on F1 Minute, which we're likely to have an F1 Minute tomorrow. I think this race grants us reason to have an F1 Minute tomorrow. That what happens now? Lewis Hamilton's going to go to Ferrari. And his teammate, this is what his teammate's doing. So how much faith do you all have in Charles next season? I got to ask y'all that. How much faith do y'all have in Charles next season, seeing what y'all seen? Because I think I've said Charles is talented, but as talented as Charles is, there's a lot of times I see Charles be a liability. There's a lot of times I see Charles unable to do what he should be able to do, having the car up under him, although I told y'all I fully blame Ferrari more in the past for what they were unable to give their drivers than not. But here it is again. I mean, how many times do you watch this? So close, bridesmaid, never the bride. I mean, come on, man. Come on. At some point in time, we got to start holding Charles Leclerc's feet to the fire and saying, bro, are you the Dak Prescott of Ferrari? You know, are you good enough to where we feel like we can't get rid of you because the options that are out there, but every now and then you just show us something and then sometimes you just let us down. Dak Prescott, awesome during the regular season. I think Ferrari is a great example of Dallas Cowboys. I do. I think Ferrari and the Dallas Cowboys parallel is phenomenal from administration to players because Dak Prescott, phenomenal in the regular season, unable to get past first round of playoffs. No championship. Charles Leclerc, pole position, doesn't convert pole position until the race wins. Mechanic Mercedes says Lewis and Charles have the same driving style. Okay, let me say this, Mechanic. Lewis and Charles, I'm going to try to say this a little bit more accurate than that. Lewis and Charles may have some of the same similar, I'm going to say similar because I'm not even going to say same. Lewis and Charles may have some similar driving crafts, but Lewis and Charles' driving style is not the same. Because Lewis can let us feel comfortable that he will drive on the edge and be able to preserve tires. We clearly saw Charles in the hunt and whack off the tires and then fall completely back into the hands of Perez, damn near. Managed the situation where it opened up the door for Carlos to come through. And Carlos miraculously just goes Mad Max out there and wrecks out Perez and himself. But Charles will have a lot to learn from Lewis Hamilton, and I'm hoping that he does, so that maybe next time we see pole position converted into podium race wins. Maybe that's what we end up seeing, because right now we're not seeing that. No cowboy slander will be tolerated, Jay, bro. I'm just saying, bro, come on. Is this not cowboy-like? Spider, is this not cowboy-like? This is the pole position is like the regular season. The race is like the postseason. Bro is not making it happen. He's not making it happen. Racer X210 says, Charles has the ability, but Ferrari is showing the car is there and it can complete. And with the GOAT being there next season, it's on fire. Yo, Racer X210, I would like to believe that. I would like to believe that. It's just that right now, I'm a little shaky on that. I'm a little shaky on it because I think Ferrari have more to build on than the drivers do. I will say that. I think Ferrari have more to get right than Charles and Lewis. Certainly Lewis. Lewis should be straight as long as the car is good. Charles a little more to work on, not even a little bit. Charles has more to work on, but I think Ferrari as a team have a lot more to work on. I think Ferrari as a team need to show us that they can finally develop a car that's going to be good throughout the season, that's going to be good circuit in and circuit out, that's going to be good not only in qualifying, but then be able to allow these drivers to be the best versions of themselves to convert qualifying pole position into race win. I believe that Ferrari are more to blame. I'm giving Charles Leclerc a good amount of that blame. I'm going to give it about a 70-30 split, maybe 60-40. All right, because I think today Ferrari did indeed deliver a car that was capable of winning. I mean, y'all can't say it. Charles got pole position in that car. Charles was in a fight for first position. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give McLaren. If McLaren ever had a day where strategy was on point, it was today. They made a very cutthroat call, and it worked out. They called Lando to do what is needed to be done against Perez and hold him up. They called him up. Lando followed team orders, and therefore, Oscar Piastri goes into the pits, comes out on better tires, and comes out ahead of Perez to keep the lead. Lando, good job, brother. How about Lando getting his elbows out finally against Max Verstappen? How about that? How about that? Up until now, Lando has been called Max Verstappen's doorman. Up until now, we've seen Lando submit to Max Verstappen. Lando fought hard against Max Verstappen. He was not going to let him have an easy race win, and because of that, Lando finished in front of Max, and Lando finished with the fastest lap. Yo, Lando, today, brother, very good job. Very good job. You were selfless today, and you know what? I got to say, I bet it was hard. I bet it was hard. Because you got caught out in qualifying. I thought you kind of choked, but that's not the truth. You got caught out in qualifying. You got moved back into the grid, far back. You fought to come up. You make it up to the top 5. And then you follow team orders to give your teammate the opportunity to retain the lead of the race, which works. Lando, I give you applause today, brother. You did an awesome job. Uno says, everyone, what excuse is Max going to say? Max, I'll give you the excuse, brother. I got the excuse right here. You don't even have to ask. Here's the excuse. My brakes are not working. That's Max Verstappen's excuse for today. His brakes don't work. He should have just said, I suck without asymmetric braking. I suck without an illegal car. I'm not as great as everybody thinks I am with a car that is equally competitive to my rivals, to the fellow drivers on the rest of the grid. This is Max Verstappen for you. Just saying. It's Max Verstappen. Where is the Max Verstappen that everybody gloated about? Oh, Max can do more with less. Oh, Max can take an AlphaTauri or a Haas to pole. Oh, Max is a legendary driver. Oh, Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's the best driver in the world. Max Verstappen's the GOAT driver of Formula One. Max Verstappen could do better than Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Max Verstappen could do more with less. Max Verstappen could take a soapbox car to pole position, then roll it down a hill and win a Grand Prix race. Max Verstappen could parachute out of the sky, fall right into a car that Red Bull had running down the straight, get in it, seatbelt himself, and still win the race. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Max Verstappen is right here in 5th place, only due to a crash out. He would have been in 7th place, and there you have it. Max Verstappen is off podium again without asymmetric braking, without an illegal car, and now he says my brakes ain't working. Now, I ain't letting y'all slide with that. Not letting y'all slide. Yes, McLaren executed strategy beautifully, Stephen Meyer says. Great racing today. Hey, I'm just saying. And you know what's been really funny? What's been really, really funny is Max Verstappen trolls and stands and cockroaches and rats. It's like I got the best pest control service in the world. It's like I called somebody and they just laid a cloud bomb and just killed all the little rodents, killed all the little rats, killed all the little trolls. Because They have not been as active in the chat. Now, for legitimate Max Verstappen fans and Red Bull supporters that look at things objectively, I'm not talking about you. You're welcomed here. Even the trolls are welcome here. They come here anyway. But why y'all so quiet now? Why y'all so quiet now? Why don't y'all keep talking that same energy? Let us hear it. Let us hear how Max Verstappen's going to do great things in lesser material. Let us hear how Max Verstappen is the all-time world's Formula One legendary driver, can do everything that everybody else can't. Why is he not now? Why is he not now? Because I'm going to keep harping on this. While Lewis Hamilton was struggling with Mercedes, there was a lot of talk about Max Verstappen would do a lot better than that. Max Verstappen got outperformed by Perez this weekend, y'all. Max Verstappen got bullied out there by Lando Norris. Didn't get bullied. Lando Norris just defended well against Max, and Max couldn't even get around while having DRS. Max Verstappen didn't even get the fastest lap, which we know he's known for that. Lando got it. Championship point gap just got smaller. The championship point gap just got a little smaller. And not by a lot, but it damn sure got a little smaller. Right now, the championship point standing as it is sits at 59 points. 59-point differential between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. And we still have several more races left, and we'll see what happens. So right now, we're looking at a replay of Carlos coming through. I'm trying to see who who I think will be able to blame for this. By the way, Perez, I think Perez did a good job today. I think Perez drove a phenomenal race. But right there, Perez is slipping a little bit, but he's trying to get in there. He's a little close. I don't think that's Leclerc. Joe, now, I would like to say, well, now we're trying to see what Sainz is going to do, because I'm trying to see this and see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be oh yeah, that's Carlos's fault. That's Carlos's fault. That's it. I can't blame Perez on that. That was Carlos Sainz's fault. All right, so now we know, by watching the replay from above, Carlos lost the traction on the car, I believe, and he goes right into Perez. So Perez, although you didn't finish and you needed to finish, but it's not Perez's fault. Carlos wrecked him out. It's unfortunate for Perez because this was going to be probably one of his better finishes in a while. It was going to be overall a very good weekend for Perez. He outperformed Max Verstappen pretty much throughout the weekend, looked more solid, comes into this race already out there looking like he's going to have a podium, and Carlos wrecks him out. And that's not even good for Ferrari, but Carlos wrecks him out. And, it's funny about on the board, Carlos is ahead of Perez, but a lot of that's going to change because Carlos is definitely going to get a penalty. I think he's definitely going to get a penalty. If he doesn't get a penalty for that, I'd be shocked. Perez, to me, in my opinion, didn't do anything to warrant a penalty. So, anyway, overall, very good race. Tori Tacklin says Max is just isn't good. Max is a product of Ooh, damn, Tori. Wow, bro. Max is a product of F1 FIA politics, and it's all falling apart in real time, in my opinion, of course. Woof. Uno says, will the real MV critics, not Baraka, please stand up? Yeah, we don't put Baraka in that boat. Baraka's a legitimate Red Bull and Max Verstappen fan. He's a legitimate Max Verstappen fan, but he's very objective and he keeps it real. But if we could get all you right there, you and you in the back not commenting so we don't see you in the chat, and your ass in the back, you in the very back, could y'all stand up? Since y'all usually come here and troll the comment section about your Max Verstappen love, your Max Verstappen tramp stamps, your Max Verstappen chest tattoos, your Max Verstappen necklaces and wristwatches that match, could you stand up and be as loud as you've been when Max Verstappen was a front runner, because it seemed like you don't got the same energy. And in my book, if you don't keep the same energy when you're down as it is when you're front running, you's a punk ass. You's a punk ass. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to you in the back, because y'all never really sit up front. You's a punk ass. Keep the same energy. Keep commenting in the section how great Max Verstappen is. Don't stop doing that. Don't stop doing that. I see you two right there trying to walk out. Don't walk out. Close the door. Lock the door. Sit your ass down. Sit right here. I got something to show you. Let me show you something. Right there. Max Verstappen off podium. So what y'all got to say? Who do y'all gonna blame it on? Because really y'all exhausted all of the blame that you could say, because y'all said that Max Verstappen could take an AlphaTauri or a Haas to pole. Evidently not true. You said that Max Verstappen would do far better than Lewis Hamilton in an L-Link team or Mercedes who was building a crap box car. Evidently not true. You said Max Verstappen, although only having 3 championships, was the GOAT of Formula One. Evidently not true. You said that Max Verstappen was going to win every race this season. Factually not true. You said that Max Verstappen was going to go to win 8 world titles. Don't know if that's going to happen. Don't know if that's going to happen. So a lot of you delusional Max stands have exhausted all of your back doors. You locked them up. You welded them shut. You put concrete blocks in them. You ain't got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. So I'm just really interested to hear what you're going to say about what we're seeing. Because according to you all, delusional, crazy Max stand fans, not the objective real ones, this shouldn't be happening. Perez is now outperforming Max. Max can't drive an illegal car. It seems like Max can't drive a legal car. Now, I will say this. Is it impossible that Red Bull at some point in time before the end of the season could develop something? Because they tried a test part this weekend and evidently it didn't work good enough. But Perez is, I mean, what are you going to say? That's another thing. The whole time your excuse was, well, if Max is doing that, Perez can't. You said Perez sucked. So what do you say about Max now when it's inverse and the rabbit got the gun? Perez outperformed Max clearly. So does that mean Max sucked? Because that's what you were saying about Perez the whole time. Even Baraka said it. I'm not letting Perez off the hook. If Max Verstappen is doing what he's doing in that Red Bull car, Perez shouldn't be doing anything less than podiums week in and week out. And we've seen Max Verstappen off podium week in and week out. Just point out the facts. Big shout out to the Papaya team. Big shout out to Williams Racing. I'm not giving a big shout out to Ferrari. I already told you all why. I'm not giving a big shout out to Ferrari for this reason right here. On behalf of the driver, not giving that out. He got podium. Congratulations. I will give him a congratulations. He got podium. But my biggest shout out is going to Williams Racing by far, without a doubt. Williams Racing, phenomenal job in qualifying. Phenomenal job for Colapinto to have the situation he had, which I'm still going to criticize him for, but he earned that. He earned my graces back. And then come into this race and put 2 cars in the points, the drivers did. And Williams Racing put 2 drivers in legitimate cars that they could perform in. Hats off to Williams Racing. I mean, what else do you say? They did a very good job. And I'm actually very excited. I'm very excited for the day that Williams Racing wins an event. I am. And this is promising. I mean, because if you think about it, Williams Racing have been improving their car race after race. And remember, not too long ago, we were criticizing them about their plain Jane floor, how horrible it was that floor looked like something a 2-year-old could build. We saw James Vowles come into Williams, change the culture. Then we saw Alex Albon prove that the team development was indeed upgrades incrementally. It wasn't a very big jump, but incrementally we saw Alex Albon be the solid driver in that team. We saw James Vowles as a team principal, a leader, give Logan Sargent, a rookie, ample time to prove to them that he could do it before letting him go. We see them bring in Colapinto, Argentinian driver, a rookie. And look at what they've managed to do. And now they have Carlos Sainz inbounds. Williams Racing is step by step doing the right things to build a solid team. 7th and 8th in a race event. Absolutely phenomenal. Hats off to that. So, Lando Norris a little bit edgy. I'm going to tell y'all something like, Laura Winner is just, it's just something about her. It's just something about it. It's just like, I'm trying to figure it out. Somebody told me what they think it is, and they might be right, but it's just something about Laura Winter, man. I think it's kind of like people that have, I got to figure, I think I know what it is. It's like some people that have like fear of clowns. If you see anybody that looks like a clown, you're like, ooh. I've always had an unsettling feeling about, like witches or people, what was that other movie? It was a movie where they went out there and it was like all these witches were out there. I just always had an unsettling feeling about witches. And it just, maybe she just kind of, her face structurally wise kind of reminds me of that. That's probably what it is. But, it's just like unsettling when I see her. And I think that's what it is. Cause I've always had a fear of witches. And then witches are real, and I just always had a fear of them in their face, and it's just like, when I see her, I'm just kind of like struck and like, ooh, I don't know. But yeah, that's probably what it is. Lord Winter, I just, but, we'll see what happens. Just like a thing for me. Just a thing for me. But Lando Norris, I don't know where this championship battle's going to go. But I will say this. With Max Verstappen being off podium as much as he has been, it's quite possible if McLaren can, it can't be McLaren because Pierre's doing it. Lando's going to have to show up. If Lando, reminds me of Saw the Clown on a bike. Bro, you're right. The Saw movie. You're right. Oh my gosh. Bro, mechanic, that's probably what it is, bro. You're right. And I think that dude in the Saw movie, the clown on the bike, it looks like a witch to me. Bro, you are absolutely fucking right. That's why. Because I'm like, why is it that when I see her, I just get unsettling feelings like, I don't like to look at it. That's probably it, bro. Oh my gosh, Mechanic Mercedes, you are my brother for real. That's exactly it. It's no shade to her. I'm saying it's me. But I just can't stand to see her. I'm sorry. Damn, that's not, I've been trying to figure it out. Like, why is it that when I see her, I just get an unsettling feeling? You are right, bro. I think you hit it on the nail on the head right there, bro. Oh my gosh. But anyway, big shout out drivers. Williams Racing is my team of the day. Big shout out to my rookie, was a rookie, now sophomore, not in a sophomore slump. Pia doing his thing. Pia is up, dog. And Ferrari is improved. Factually, Ferrari's improved. They've showed that they've made, because they brought an update that was totally catastrophic. They changed it, reverted, readjusted, came back. Now we see Ferrari up top. Like, Ferrari is running strong. I still need to see this for a couple of more events. I need to see Ferrari do this for a couple of more events before I say it's solidified. But I do believe Ferrari have changed direction, have changed their flow. Now we need the drivers to show us that the car that's underneath their hiney parts, they can take it where it needs to be. Charles didn't take the car where it should have been, but also McLaren have been a formidable. Oh man, matter of fact, hold on, Chad, hold on. Has something else changed? We might have to change something on the wall. Hold on, wait a minute. We might have to change something on the wall, chat. Let me check this real quick. Oh, we're changing it. We are changing it. Oh my gosh, we're changing it. We got to move this over so you all can see. We are changing it. McLaren Racing is now first in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull is now second. McLaren Racing is now leading in the Constructors' Championship. Big shout out to McLaren. Had to go ahead and change that. It is 476 to 456. They lead the Constructors' Championship by 20 points. McLaren is now on top. Ferrari's third. We're trying to see if that's going to even change. But right now, with today's placement, Ferrari puts a big more gap in between them and Mercedes, so maybe not likely. But the Constructors' Championship has now been changed. McLaren is up 20 points. So congratulations to McLaren by way of Oscar Piastri, Lando making up ground, them playing the team game. They get up there as a team. Now we just need to see, is this Drivers' Championship still possible to be overturned? And if it, listen, yo, I'm finna tell you something right now. If McLaren not only have overturned Constructors' Championship, but if McLaren Lando manages, because it's really bigger up to Lando, okay? If Lando manages to overturn this now 59-point swing before the end of the season to get your Drivers' Championship, oh my gosh. You are talking about a story to be written of all stories. It will be one of the top stories in Formula One history that McLaren, with a sophomore in which a rookie turned from the time that they got him, went through all the contractual bullcrap. Then they had to pay Alpine. Now they get him, has a nice rookie season, comes in, captures multiple race wins. Lando Norris overturns a 69-point swing to grab the Drivers' Championship. McLaren captured the Constructors' Championship. This season is going down in history as one of the biggest historical events in Formula One, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It is not impossible. It is not impossible. Max Verstappen finished fifth. Lando Norris just has to finish on podium more often than not, and Max Verstappen finished off podium, which has been a real thing. It's been a real thing. So this is not impossible. Lando is not out of it. McLaren have just captured the win for the team. They just got to hold it the rest of the season, which is more important to them anyway, true. But now can we see Lando pull it together and do what he needs to do? Race how he needs to race to capture the wins more often than not. Don't be off podium the rest of the season, Lando. Don't be off podium the rest of the season. It might be possible. It might be possible. Because if we're looking at that, right? If we're looking at that, let's see, if we're looking at that, let's say Verstappen finishes fifth. That's only 10 points every race, right? 10 points every race. So what we probably have, this was 18. So we have 6 more races. If Max Verstappen finishes fifth or lower, that puts him at getting 60 points at best. So we have to see if that swing. If Lando Norris can finish first every race out, which I don't know if that's possible. Let's say 18th on average, 20. Yo, it's possible. It's possible. If Lando Norris can finish on average with 20 points every race, on average between second and first, every race event, and Max Verstappen doesn't finish higher than fifth, every race event, he finishes like that, it is possible that Lando could capture the Drivers' Championship by 1 point in front of Max Verstappen. That'll give him 60 points throughout. That means he'll finish probably ahead by 1 point. It's not impossible, chat. It's not impossible. It's not. And what we're seeing from Red Bull, what we're seeing from Max, because Perez evidently had a Red Bull car that he was going to finish on podium with, it's not impossible. And 60% of the time throughout the last 10 races, Max Verstappen hasn't been on podium. We got a watch on our hands. We have a watch on our hands, all right? So we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, driver team of the day, without a doubt, is Williams Racing. And I'm happy to say it. So with that being said, I am out. We're likely going to have a F1 Minute. We may have a Wolves Den today, so stay tuned for that. I'm Jay from Wolfpack, and I'm out. Peace.